Alright, this video is going to be paced weirdly because there's like a billion things to talk about, so bear with me here. I had to rewrite the script for this video like 3 times, which is probably why this video comes out late. But anyways, to get it out of the way, yes, Refrigerator-Refrigerator-Freezarator is possible to beat with Pizzaface chasing you at all times when using the noise. But to get the P rank, you'll need to use swap mode. Now I know this sounds absurd, so let me go over how the noise can beat this level normally first, and why Peppino can't. The point at which Peppino gets stuck at is this room here, right after going through Freezer 11. This room is similar to the Ancient Cheese Jerome room, as we are forced to wait for the cheese blocks to disappear before dropping down the next level. Not only that, we also have to break these ice blocks with jetpacks to progress. I originally tried to get past this in a similar way to Ancient Cheese, by building up max speed through insta-turns, but that didn't end up helping much. What ultimately worked out was breaking the first ice block and then immediately going back to reset the room, jumping over Pizzaface in the process. From there, you can just precisely activate the jetpacks and fast fall if needed to get to the second cheese floor in time. However, in order to actually progress, we need to hit the heater on the right here before going back to the left. This needs to be done while Pizzaface is right above us, and the ceiling in this section is too small to juke Pizzaface in any useful way. So escaping this room is overall impossible for Peppino. Well, how does the noise do it? He also can't. Nothing in his moveset is useful in this room. Well, nothing useful besides one thing. The noise starts off the level with the jetpack ability, unlike Peppino, who only gets it after eating the Satan's Choice pizza halfway through the level. This gives us a few more options, but more importantly, it lets us sequence break in 2 sections. The second sequence break is the more important one, and is probably less intended than the first one. There's this section below the railings here that is normally used as a shortcut during the escape once Peppino can break the ice blocks with his pepper pizza ability. However, since the noise starts off with this ability, you can very jankily fly under the rails and break the ice blocks. This skips us having to go to the right, which is perfect as it 1. Leads to the impossible section, and 2. As there's nothing important for the P rank over there. So great, Refrigerator-Refrigerator-Freezarator is possible to beat with the noise. So why did I say I need swap mode earlier? Well, that's because I didn't discuss the earlier sequence break I used in this level, located right here. This one is much easier to do, but it skips the room with the tomato topping and the first secret. This means to do the P rank, we have to go through this room. The problem is that this room is very tricky to do as the noise. We need to turn on the heater at the top left here, but because of the layout of the room, no matter how fast we do it, Pizzaface will always be blocking our path. Unlike in Crust Cove, we can't juke Pizzaface to out either, as the ceiling is too low for us to jump over or slide below him. I did have a few ideas when doing this room, one of which involved doing a woost after luring Pizzaface to the right, which did give some promising results, but whether this room is possible or not, it's ultimately way easier to do it as Peppino. Peppino is able to get more distance between Pizzaface through his faster wall running, so we have a bit more room to avoid Pizzaface. So that's why I'm doing this level with swap mode. Not because I think the tomato room with the noise is impossible, but because it's just easier to do it this way. With all of that being said, let's go over the level. The full run is linked in the description as always. I start off as the noise, and I'm able to do a high woost off the wall to the left here. Now high woosts, short for hyper woosts, are even weirder than normal woosts, as they allow the noise to go faster than the speed cap. I have absolutely no idea how it works, but it basically involves performing a normal woost and 1 frame later doing a crusher jump, which can result in you getting between 17 to 23 speed. For reference, the speed cap is 20, so yeah, this is pretty broken. I'm able to maintain my speed through most of the first rooms thanks to this railing right here, but it's pretty hard to maintain it with the noise's jetpack ability. Since the room with the first secret is coming up shortly, I decide to swap to Peppino right here so I can do the next room a bit faster. The room after that involves me luring Pizzaface down with a taunt, and then jump boosting off this enemy to reach the wall without having to super jump, which is just fast enough to let me reach the door before Pizzaface catches up. I start off the tomato topping room as normal, running as fast as possible to the heater. Once I reach it though, I immediately mock cancel and roll back through the gap and jump over Pizzaface. I don't grab slide after mock canceling, as that would lead to me diving into Pizzaface, and going farther into the cave to get the tomato topping would lose too much time. I then go underneath Pizzaface with the boost pad and run up this wall, performing a mock launch and uppercut at the very top to reach the first secret. Doing the first secret room normally is not an option, so I quickly get rid of my jetpack by pilot driving a snowman and swapping to the noise. From there, I simply fly over Pizzaface and into the exit. The sequence break I mentioned earlier is coming up soon, which involves a lot of setup to maintain my combo efficiently. The setup involves entering the room at Mach 4 to consistently break the first ice block, but the rails and ramps in the previous room makes this hard to achieve. Fortunately, I can reach Mach 4 right before falling down this section, where I can then tornado through the rails and fly underneath the ramp, maintaining my speed. From there, I can enter the next room and fly underneath this rail to break the first ice block, which is a lot easier said than done. Since you can only affect how the jetpack moves by holding jump, staying in one place vertically becomes a lot harder. Thankfully, some people in the speedrunning Discord told me you can hold down and jump to float in one place, which made the setup a lot easier. I float until I go over the electrical plugs, at which point I stop holding jump and down to begin falling right onto the ice block. From there, I go to the right and juke Pizzaface to reset the room, picking up the points here to maintain my combo. If you're wondering why I don't break the other two blocks right now, that's because it's pretty difficult to recover after going at Mach 4, and Pizzaface would be much closer, so it's better to reset the room to have a bit more leniency. I insta-turn in the next room to maintain some speed, which lets me go below the rails without having to jump or fall into the electrical plugs. From there, I do some tiny jumps with the jetpack, making sure to hold down so as to not go up into the rail right above me, and enter the door to progress further. The next two rooms involve a series of tornado cancels, which is pretty satisfying to do until you reach the bottom. There's a snowman that will always be in the way if you do this room fast, and going over him with a spin is always annoying with Pizzaface chasing after you. So instead, I wait a bit here, letting the snowman finish his path, and drift here to easily kill him and enter the pizza box. I basically skip the whole next room by flying below it, only stopping to reach the second secret, which isn't problematic as Pizzaface spawns far away. After some more janky movement in the next room, I reach the Satan's Choice Pizza, which gives the noise invincibility as well as homing missiles, which are crucial for gaining extra points. I activate the heater and fly up to the pizza box, which can be tricky if done slowly. The next room is very similar, where I can skip killing all the enemies and only stop at the top here to juke Pizzaface and to get into the pizza box. I swap to Peppino in the room with Pillar John, as I'm more familiar with his moveset during the escape, having speedrun this level in the past. That being said, I do suck at doing fast falls after canceling out of a spin, so I replace them with power bombs. I break Pillar John and power bomb down to the door. From there, I climb on the wall and get Jerome. Nothing of note happens until the third secret, where Pizzaface prevents me from simply skipping the secret by flying straight up, so I do it normally, making sure to jump over Pizzaface here. I get Jerome with a pretty tight up door, and I'm home free to do lap 2. We get 1000 points when getting rid of the pepper pizza power-up, which acts as a replacement for the tomato topping. The lap 2 is pretty clean, where I super jump here and do a couple of precise fast falls. I also make sure to jump over the snowman I didn't kill earlier here, and speed through until I reach the exit, ending in 4 minutes and 48 seconds. That was a very interesting level. It's the first and quite possibly the only one that is made easier with swap mode, which makes it somewhat unique. However, swapping between the noise and Peppino is super inconsistent. Like seriously, I landed the insta-turn more times than I landed the swap, so I tried to use my swap sparingly. Peppibot Factory is up next, and it's a much more straightforward level with tricky Peppino movement. If you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe.